Start. Franklin TV Sports presents Franklin High School Girls Softball today on a beautiful, hot spring day in Franklin, Mass., the home of the Panthers. The Franklin High softball team takes on the Eagles of Sharon High School. Hi, neighbors, and welcome to our telecast. I'm Pete Royce. Our producer today is Chris Leverone. Our camera operator is Chris, and also Meredith Robertson. Franklin comes into this softball match with a record of 2-2. For Sharon, the Eagles have had a tough start. They're 0-4. They've lost some games by huge scores, so looking to turn that around here today. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the visitors for Sharon, starting at shortstop, a senior, Maddie Hugh. Starting at third base and batting second, a sophomore, Haley Fernando. Batting third, a junior in right field, Natalie David. Batting cleanup for the Eagles at first base, a freshman, Danica McNamara. Batting fifth, the left fielder, and she's a good one, senior Allie Folsham. Batting sixth, the catcher, a senior, Samantha Dunham. Batting seventh, the pitcher, a senior, Manasa Jasiula. Batting eighth, a senior, Natalie Kessler in center field. She's also a good player. And hitting ninth for the Eagles, a junior in second base, Sarah Fishman. For the homestanding Panthers, they will start at center field, a senior, Avery Chalk. Batting second, the pitcher, freshman Sophia Sacramone. Batting third, a sophomore, Sarah Buzang. Hitting cleanup for the Panthers, shortstop, Carly Johnson Pellegri. Batting fifth at third base, a senior, Katie Lieberman. Batting sixth, a sophomore in right field, a catcher, Marley Allen. Batting seventh at second base, a freshman, Ava Florist. Hitting eighth, a senior and playing left field, Caitlin Hickey. And batting ninth in right field, the sophomore, Sophia Arena. So that's your lineups for today's game. And Franklin here in this season unveils a new head coach. She is Brianna Schaefer. Brianna Schaefer, a graduate of King Philip Regional and also a graduate of Bridgewater State. And her assistant coaches this year are veterans. They're returning Russell Wise and Larry Givens. For the Eagles of Sharon, they arrived late, by the way, here, and this game has been about a half an hour delayed. Their head coach is Heather Poliferno, and she's in her 8th year directing the Eagles softball program. So it's Sophia Sacramone, a freshman, in the circle for the Panthers, and she's getting ready with her warm-up tosses, and she'll be pitching them to Marley Allen, a sophomore. So a young battery for the Panthers. The defense for Franklin. In left field, Caitlin Hickey. In center field, Avery Chalk. In right field, Sophia Arena. And in third base, Katie Lieberman. At shortstop, Carly Johnson Pellegri. At second base is Ava Forrest. At first base, Sarah Buzang. The catcher is Marley Allen, and the pitcher is Sophia Sacramone. So there are your lineups for Franklin out there. And so here we go. Maddie Hu is going to start it off for the Eagles. And going to work is Sacramone. Looking in for her sign from the catcher, and she takes a strike. Hu takes a strike. Marley Allen, the catcher. Sacramone, the 0-1 home. Swung on a little tapper foul. Franklin 2-2 on their first 4 games. They won versus OA 8-7. Lost at KP 16-4 in 6 innings. Won at Foxborough 11-1 and lost at Taunton 12-0 in 5 innings. The 1-1, the 0-2 home is Tapper. This is going to be to third base over the first. In time for the out, just barely, on a nice play there by third baseman Katie Lieberman. Got it over just in time to beat the speedy Maddie Hu. And here's their third baseman now, Haley Fernando, also batting right. Sharon 0-4, lost to Taunton, Canton, Milford, and Foxborough. And that's a foul ball down the first base line. Haley Fernando, third base, batting second. No balls and one strike. Nothing but strikes so far from the freshman, Sophia Sacramone. The wind is blowing straight out, maybe a little bit from home to right field, sometimes dead to center field, and it is windy and very warm. Temperature in the high 80s as we start play. The change up, and it's hit to first base foul. So Fernando did get around just in time. She adjusted to the off-speed pitch, but hit it foul. Still 2 strikes here. Pitch home, strike 3 swinging. 2 up and 2 down. Sacramone looking sharp so far. She'll face the third hitter in the Eagles lineup. That's Natalie David, the right fielder and a junior, also batting right. Sacramone has yet to throw a ball. How about that? She's in her third batter. Two outs, nobody on. Freshman pitcher, tapper to the catcher. It's a fair ball, and that's going to be an, I believe, I don't know how they're going to rule that. David reaches. Not sure if that was a hit or an error. Tough handle there. I'm going to call that a hit, unofficially. And here's Danica McNamara, the cleanup hitter, and the freshman. She plays first base and she bats left. 1 on, 2 outs. Pitch home, swing and a miss. Sacramone has yet to throw a ball in this game. Amazing start for the freshman. Where's the number 20 on her back? Veers in for the sign and the pitch. A strike 2. Throwing nothing but strikes. You can see the wind blowing, kicking up a lot of dust here in the infield. All dirt, of course. The 0-2 home to the cleanup hitter, Danica McNamara, and that's the first ball of the game delivered by Sacramone. And a nice stop by Marley Allen. So glad you're with us, fans. We're on Franklin TV and streaming worldwide on the internet on YouTube. The 1-2 home. Swung on and missed. 2 Ks in the inning for Sacramone. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the first. Sharon nothing. The Panthers coming to bat. We'll set the defense for Sharon. They'll have in left field Allie Folsham, the senior, a good player, as is Natalie Kessler, the senior in center field. Juniors in right field, Natalie David. So 2 Natalies in the outfield. At third base, Haley Fernando, a sophomore. At shortstop, a junior, Maddie Hu. At second base, a junior, Sarah Fishman. At first base, a freshman, Danica McNamara. The catcher is senior Samantha Dunham. And the pitcher is junior Manasseh Josie Ula. On the mound for Sharon. Sharon 0-4. Lost by some big scores at Taunton. Lost at Canton. Lost at Milford. And lost at Foxborough. The only common opponent is 2 of 2 actually. Franklin lost at Taunton 12-0. Sharon lost at Taunton 34-1, a 5-inning game. And Franklin defeated Foxborough 11-1. Sharon lost to Foxborough 13-3. So we're getting ready to start the bottom of the first, no score. And the Panthers will have up Avery Chalk, followed by pitcher Sophia Sacramone and first baseman Sarah Buzang. Josiula getting ready for her last, I believe, warm-up pitch as she gets to the circle for the first time today. Right-handed pitcher. And Avery Chalk will be making her way in to the batter's box. The officials for today's game, the umpires. The home plate umpire is Paul Lacasse, and on the bases is Ray Kinsella. Here's Avery Chalk stepping in. She's the starting center fielder for new head coach Brianna Schaefer for the Panthers. Pitch is high and away. 1-0. At the moment, the wind has calmed down a little bit. It's been stiff, blowing straight out. It's in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes on Chalk. "2-0" is slammed to center field, right to the center field. There, it's over her head. And going for 2 is Chalk, and she's going to pull up with a double. Avery Chalk with a double. She's in scoring position on a nice hit to center field. It just went over the head of Natalie Kessler. And this is Sophia Sacramone, the pitcher, stepping in. Sacramone, a freshman, foul ball. Sophia Sacramone. What a start she had in the circle. 2 strikeouts in the top of this inning. Chalk leads off, does not lead, is on second base, can't lead till the pitcher releases. The ball is loose. Good backup there by the second baseman, or Chalk could have taken off. Heads up play by Sarah Fishman. Pitch home. A strike called, down and low. Caught the inside corner. Sacramone looks down to her head coach, the third base coach, Brianna Schaefer. Pitch home. Ground ball to the pitcher. She's going to go to first, and on the play, Chalk will advance over to third base. So kind of a productive out for the pitcher Sacramone, and this brings up the third hitter, Sarah Buzang, with a runner on third and 1 out. Buzang, the starting first baseman, a sophomore, digs in from the right side. Pitch is a strike. Here comes a wild pitch. The runner is going to slide in safely, and the first run is on the board. 1-0. Panthers get it on the wild pitch. So 1 out, nobody on now. 1 in though. And Buzang at the plate. 1 ball, no balls, 1 strike. It's high and wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Buzang, as you can see, a right-handed batter. Cleanup hitter, Carly Johnson-Pellegri, stands in the on-deck area. That's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Buzang. Josiula with the pitch. It's hit in the air to the infield, to the shortstop. And she makes the catch. That is Maddie Hu. Pop out to short. 2 outs. And this brings up Carly Johnson-Pellegri. Johnson-Pellegri, the shortstop, a junior. Bats from the right side with the bases cleared now. 1-0, Panthers on top here in the bottom of the first. Pitch is tapped foul past the Sharon dugout. Last year, the Panthers had the third base dugout, but this year, at least in this game, they've opted for the first base dugout. Both dugouts are facing the sun. Swing and a miss by Johnson-Pellegri. She might have been expecting a different pitch than the one she got. No balls and 2 strikes on the cleanup hitter, Carly Johnson-Pellegri. Josiula whacks the pitch, is hit up the middle for a solid base hit by Johnson-Pellegri. A nice single right up the middle on the ground, and this brings up the 5th hitter, third baseman Katie Lieberman. Lieberman, a senior. Runner on first with 2 outs. Pitch home is outside, ball one. 1-0 on Katie Lieberman. Pitch home is fouled over the dugout on the first base side. 1 ball and 1 strike on Katie Lieberman. On deck is the catcher, Marley Allen. The 1-1. It's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Franklin with 9 seniors on the team, so a veteran team, 2 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 4 freshmen for their roster of 20. Pitch is tapped foul right in front of me. I was protected by this fence. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Katie Lieberman. Couldn't get around on that pitch by Jaziula. 1-2, 1 on, 1 in, 2 outs. Pitch home is high and wide. Catcher drops it, and taking advantage of it is Johnson Pellegri. She'll go to second base on the pass ball. So she's in scoring position now for Lieberman, who has a 2-2 count as she digs in. Pitch popped down the first base side. It's going to go out of play, a foul ball out of the reach of both McNamara and Fishman, who try to come over from second base to help out. Just hit maybe the last few inches of the dirt before it meets the grass behind first base. 2-2 again to Lieberman. She swings and misses, strike 3. So the inning is over. The Panthers get 1 run on 2 hits. And there is 1 player left on base. After 1 full, it's Franklin 1 and Sharon. For Sharon, they will send up 5, 6, and 7. One of their best players will be batting first, and that's Allie Folsham. F-O-U-L-S-H-A-M, Folsham. She's a senior and a left fielder. See what she can do at the plate. As going out to the circle for her second inning here is Sophia Sacramone. The Franklin backups go out to the field to stay loose and play catch in right field. One to nothing, Franklin on top. This is game number 5 on the season for Franklin and also for Sharon. Sacramone still out there, looking in. And the throw down by Allen to second base as we get ready to start the top of the second. So Folsham will step in, right-handed batter. So Folsham steps in. Wears number 6 on her back. And she is the starting left fielder. Just about ready to go. Folsham steps in. Sacramone in the circle. Right foot on the rubber. Left foot about 3.5 feet back. She winds and burns in a strike. Sacramone has been right around the plate for the first few batters. 0-1 home to Folsham. She swings and lines a line drive into center field for a base hit. Solid hit for Folsham. Second hit of the game for the Sharon Eagles, and this is Samantha Dunham, the catcher, stepping up to the plate. Dunham, a senior. Swings and misses for a strike. 0-1. Folsham at first base, potential tying run. Here in the top of the second. Dunham, the senior. The 0-1 home. That's a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the home plate umpire is Paul Lacasse. On the bases, Ray Kinsella. So glad you're with us, fans, on Franklin TV and worldwide on the internet on YouTube. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Samantha Dunham. She's 6th in the order for the Eagles. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch home. Swing and miss. Strike 3. 3rd strikeout in the game for Sacramone. First out of the inning, and this will bring up the 7th hitter, the pitcher, Manasa Jasiula. Pitcher against pitcher here. Pitch home, ground ball to second base. It's picked up there, and the throw in time. On the play, the runner advances to second, but a good play by Ava Forrest. Get it over to Sarah Buzang in time, and there's 2 outs. So Folsham is the potential tying run now in scoring position as Natalie Kessler, the center fielder and the 8th hitter, steps up. She's also a good player. Pitch home. A little bit low, no ball, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 Panthers, top of the second. Sacramone in the dirt. Nice stop by Marley Allen, sophomore. A freshman on the hill, in the circle I should say, Sophia Sacramone. 2 balls and no strikes. Kessler takes ball 3. So a touch of wildness here for Sacramone. She hasn't shown this so far till now. See if she can get out of the 3-0 hole that she's in right now against the 8th hitter in the lineup, Kessler. 3-0 home. Swing and a miss. So Kessler has the green light on 3-0. And she swings and misses. Folsham still at second base. The 3-1 home. That's ball 4. And so Kessler walks, 2 on now. But now there's a force out at any base for the 9th hitter, second baseman Sarah Fishman, a junior. The wind picking up again. Blowing pretty much straight out. Fishman at second base, a left-handed hitter. Pitch home, swung on miss. A late swing by Fishman. Might have chased one outside and high. 0-1 on the junior. The 0-1. Ball called low. 1 ball and 1 strike. We go to the top of the order next. If Fishman can get on, that'll bring up Maddie Hu, the shortstop. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch swung on and missed. Looked like Fishman was trying to slap it to left field. Again, she might have chased the ball. She could be helping out Sacramone here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 outs. Second inning. Sophia Sacramone delivers strike 3 call, the 4th strikeout of the game in 2 innings for Sacramone. 2 strikeouts per inning. No runs here in the second inning. 1 hit and 2 left. After 1.5, the score, Franklin 1 and Sharon 0. We'll move to the bottom of the second now. And Franklin will send up 6, 7, and 8. Marley Allen, the catcher. Ava Florist at second base. And Caitlin Hickey, the left fielder. 7, 8, and 9. I'm sorry, 6, 7, and 8. Allen is a sophomore. Florist is a freshman. And then Hickey, the left fielder, is a senior. Coach Brianna Schaefer in her first year. Notice she knew a lot of the Sharon players who she was greeting as they came onto the field. They had a late start leaving Sharon, so this game was delayed by a half an hour. So we go to the bottom of the second. Franklin had 2 hits in the first inning, and one of them scored. That was Avery Chalk, the leadoff hitter, who had doubled and came around to score on a wild pitch. So no RBIs in the game for the Franklin score. And how about Sacramento bearing down and getting a nice strikeout with 2 runners on, the potential tying run, the potential lead run. We're on base there in the top of the second. Marley Allen, the catcher. Sophomore, throw down a second, and Allen, the number 9 on her back, trots into the right-handed batter's box. Allen steps in. Pitch home is lined to left field. That's a fair ball down the line, and it's going to be Allen pulling up with a single. Solid hit for Allen. Second hit of the game for the Panthers. In the Franklin victories, they've scored 8 runs and 11 runs, so they have the potential to score a lot. Talked to assistant coach Russell Wise before the game today. He was saying potentially the team looks structurally sound, and he's waiting for them to put it all together. He thinks they could be a very strong team this year. We have a pinch runner now for Allen. Pinch running for the Panthers is Caroline Brousseau, a senior. So Brousseau pinch running for Allen. Brousseau at first base, no outs. Pitch home to Florist is a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Florist at second base and the 7th hitter in the lineup for coach Brianna Schaefer. 1 ball, no strikes. Too high, 2-0. Brousseau, first the throw down to first. Brousseau was standing on the bag by the time the throw arrived. 2-0 on Florist. Florist, a freshman. Pitch home, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to Florist. On deck is the senior, the left fielder, Caitlin Hickey. Pitch home is ball 4. So the first 2 batters reach here. And going down to second is the pinch runner Brousseau. And the 8th hitter in the lineup, Caitlin Hickey, steps in with 2 on and no outs. On deck, Sophia Arena, a sophomore. Pitch is a strike. Hickey wanted to go for it, but pulled back at the last minute, and it was called a strike by home plate umpire Paul Lacasse. 0-1 on the senior. Pitch is a strike 2 called. 0-2 on Caitlin Hickey. Oh, it hit her. It hit her. Hit by pitch. It hit by pitch. The bases are loaded with no outs. A single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. And here comes the right fielder, the sophomore, Sophia Arena. The infield is drawn in. Pitch home, ground ball, a shortstop. They're going to go home. It's an error. 1 run is in. The second run is charging the plate, and she's going to be tagged out. So not a good choice there. Franklin gets 1, a fielder's choice. 1 in and 1 out. Florist is retired. 5, 2, 3. And the runners end up on second and third with 1 out. We go to the top of the order in Avery Chalk. 1 in, 1 out, 2 on. Pitch home is a ball, 1-0. Avery Chalk doubled and scored in the first inning. So the pinch runner Brousseau scored on that on the wild throw. Pitch home is line foul down the left field line. Solid contact by Chalk. 1 ball and 1 strike. One in, 2 on. Josiula, the junior, pitch is fouled over the screen to the first base side between home and first. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Avery Chalk, the leadoff hitter for Franklin. 2-0, 1 out here in the second inning, the home half. Pitch home, and Chalk had a notion. Not sure what she called. Did the ump call a swing on that? She called a swing. If so, she's out. She's out. She called on strike 3. So the ump said that she went. So that's interesting call there. Usually the umpire might look for help, didn't call for help. Here's Sacramone now with 2 on, 2 outs. And she hits one down the first base side, just in front of us. 0-1. So a big strikeout there for Chalk. More importantly for Josiula, the pitcher for Sharon. 2 on, 2 outs now. Pitch home is lined. Coming in quickly, the center fielder. She makes the leaning catch. Nice play by Natalie Kessler to end the second inning. 1 run and 1 hit and 2 left. We go to the third. Franklin 2, Sharon nothing. An interesting inning there. Franklin, the beneficiary of a wild throw home, and then Sharon got a runner out on the same play at home. And Franklin could not score after having second and third with 1 out. So we move to the third, and we'll be to the top of the order for Sharon. It'll be Maddie Hu, Haley Fernando, and Natalie David. 2-0 in the third inning. Franklin will play next Tuesday against Walpole. That'll be their next game. We move to the third. Hot day here in Franklin. Early spring day, but feels like midsummer. 2-0. Freshman Sophia Sacramone has given up 2 hits so far, but no runs. And looked good in the circle for Franklin. Allen with a strong throw down a second. And the team will converge around pitcher Sophia Roncone. High fives around, and here we go to the top of the third. Maddie Hu, she grounded out to third base, Katie Lieberman, in the first inning to get the game going. So the second time around the order now for the Eagles. Roncone stares in and delivers. Swing and a foul back by Hu. No balls and 1 strike on the leadoff hitter, junior Maddie Hu. Changeup is a little bit high. Hu is a junior. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch home. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. 1-2 on Hu. On deck, Haley Fernando, the 2-hitter. Sacramone wears a mask. Looks like she got sunglasses going too in the circle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Ground ball. Second base, over to first in time on a nice fielding play by Ava Forrest. Over to Buzang for the out. Florist with the assist. 2 up and 2 down here. 1 up and 1 down. So 2 ground outs for Hu. And this is Haley Fernando. And she's backed away, but it's a strike called on the inside half. 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Franklin leads it 2-0. Pete Royce with you from sun-drenched Franklin High School. Pitch home, foul to the screen by Haley Fernando. She plays third. The right fielder and the third hitter, junior Natalie David, is on deck. No balls and 2 strikes to Fernando. Sacramone comes high with a fast one. 1-2. The 1-2 home. Foul back by Fernando. Looking at the dimensions here, looks like a symmetrical park. 218 down each line, left and right. And a little deeper to dead center field. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch home, swung on and foul tipped to the backstop, and the count hangs at 1-2 on third baseman Haley Fernando. 2-0 Franklin. Top of the 3rd, 1 out, nobody on. The 1-2 home. It's lashed down the first base side in front of us. We're standing here along the first base line, just beyond the skin of the infield. Count hangs 1-2 on Haley Fernando. She struck out swinging, 1 of 4 Ks posted by Sacramone. Looking for number 5 right here, and the pitch, and she gets it. Her 5th strikeout of the game. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 here in the 3rd. And Natalie David will step up. She singled with a nice hit in the 1st inning. She was stranded, though. And she's up for the 2nd time. She's the Sharon right fielder. Swing and a miss by David. So 3 batters in a row retired. 5 out of the last 6 for Sacramone. And she got 3 out of the first 4. Not much given up by the starting freshman, Sophia Sacramone. 1 ball and 1 strike on David. Cleanup hitter McNamara is on deck. Oh, it's just off the glove of Buzang, who made an attempt for it. Ball had a lot of spin on it, and Buzang couldn't quite haul it in as she was running into foul territory. So it's 0-2 on David. Sacramone with 5 strikeouts so far. Her pitch home, she's got 6. 2 strikeouts in each of the first 3 innings. Nothing across in the 3rd. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Franklin 2, Sharon nothing. How about the freshman Sacramone? 2 strikeouts in each inning. In the home 3rd, Franklin will send up 3, 4, and 5. Buzang, Johnson, Pellegri, and Lieberman. Buzang popped up to shortstop in the 1st inning, followed by Johnson, Pellegri, and Katie Lieberman. So Allen was pinch run for, but she has re-entered the game in the catching position. Pinch run for by Brusso, who scored. We move to the bottom of the 3rd. And Sarah Buzang, the sophomore, the first baseman, will step in. Story of the game so far has been the fine pitching of freshman Sophia Sacramone. The catcher was a little bit late getting out onto the field, and so Joe Sayula is still going through her warm-up tosses in between innings. One more to go. The throw will be sent down by Samantha Dunham. And there it goes. One hopper to the shortstop. And we get ready to start the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 Panthers looking for their third victory of the season. This is game 5. Bu Zhang steps in from the right side. She popped out, as we said, and takes the one outside. Ball 1, ball goes down to the backstop. Camera operators today, Chris Leverone and Meredith Robertson. Pete Royce on the call. Our public address announcer today is Franklin TV announcer Ryan Martin. A pop-up to the second baseman. It goes over her head, and that's going to drop in. So I don't know how that's going to be ruled. I assume an error on the second baseman. And Johnson Pellegri will step in. Pellegri with a nice single in the first inning. She went as far as second base, was stranded there. No outs, one on. Swing and a miss by Johnson Pellegri. But on the pitch, going down to second, is Bu Zhang. Second base was not covered. She just took it. Took the open base. Russell Wise coaching at first. Brianna Schaefer coaching at third. Wild pitch. And Bu Zhang makes it to third with nobody out. Bu Zhang, a stolen base, and now a wild pitch brings her over to third base. Count is 1-1 strike on the cleanup hitter, Carly Johnson Pellegri, the shortstop, the junior. Pitch. Pellegri Johnson takes the strike. 1-2 strikes. A little changeup that time by Manasseh Josyula, Josyula. Josyula looks like she shook off a sign, now delivers. Pitch is a grounder to third, and booted by the third baseman. No throw on the play. And so a run comes in, Franklin with 1 run each of the first 3. I assume that's going to be an E5. And Katie Lieberman will step in now. Lieberman struck out swinging in the first inning. Franklin with a run in each of the first 3 innings. So far, the Eagles have been kept off the board. Lieberman from the right side. Pitch home, high and wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Ball gets away from Josyula, but not far enough for Lieberman, rather for Johnson Pellegri to advance. Lieberman is at the plate. 1-0. The pitch. Tapper to first. It's a fair ball. And she's going to tag the oncoming Lieberman on the play. Johnson Pellegri goes to second. So 3 unassisted for the second out. And Marley Allen will come in. She singled and scored in the second inning. 1 out, 1 in, 1 on. Bottom of the third for Marley Allen, the sophomore catcher. She hits a ground ball to second. It's picked up there. The throw to first in time for the out. And on the play, Johnson Pellegri advances to third. Nice play by the second baseman. That is Sarah Fishman. 2 outs. Ava Flores, the freshman second baseman, stands in. She walked in the second inning. Runner on third now with 2 outs. The pitch. Strike. 0-1 on Florist. She's the 7th hitter in the lineup for Brianna Schaefer. Schaefer in her first year coaching the Panthers softball program. The pitch. Nice swing by Florist, but she got under it. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. The runner on third is Carly Johnson Pellegri. Reached on an error. Josyula delivers. Pitch is a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Ava Florist. We have a freshman pitcher, a freshman second baseman here today. Pitch home is popped up down the right field line, and that's over the fence and out of play. Franklin with some injuries and some people out today. So Coach Brianna Schaefer's had to mix and match a little bit here today. Haley Fales is out. She's a usual catcher. Faith Edgehill is out. She's a shortstop. And the pitch is a wild pitch, and coming in to score is Carly Johnson Pellegri. Makes it 4-0. 2-2 now on Florist. So wild pitches have cost the Eagles here today. 4-0 now. The pitch just a little bit high, and it's 3-2. I think Florist thought it was ball 4. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Florist walked in the second inning. The pitch, a line drive deep to left center field. That one hops the fence, and Florist digs for 2. Here's the throw. She's going to have a standing double on a ringing hit by Ava Florist. She's going to walk in a double. That's the loudest hit of the day. And Caitlin Hickey will stand in now with a runner on second base. 2 outs. Caitlin Hickey, she was hit by a pitch in the second inning and left at third base. Pitch home. Hickey takes the ball. Florist dancing off second base. What a sound hit that was by Florist out of the 7th slot. Hickey batting 8th now. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch. Too high. 2-0. Franklin with a run in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 here in the third. 2 outs. Pitch home. A wild pitch. Over to third goes Florist. The wild pitches have hurt Sharon. And it's a 3-0 count. The 9th hitter is up next, Sophia Arena, the right fielder. This is the senior left fielder, Hickey, with a 3-0 count. Will she get the green light? The pitch. She does, and she hits one. What a stop by the second baseman. Fishman with the backhander on a beautiful stop. And that is an out at first base. And Franklin gets 2 runs on only 1 hit. After 3 complete, Franklin 4, Sharon no score. What a fine play that was by Sarah Fishman. A rope was hit by Hickey, and Fishman made the play. So we go to the top of the 4th. Franklin has increased its lead now to 4-0. And for the Eagles, they will send up 4, 5, and 6. McNamara, Folsham, and Dunham. But the story, besides the 4 runs, has been the pitching of freshman Sophia Sacramone. She has 6 strikeouts over the first 3 innings, 2 in each of the first 3 innings. Only a freshman. Beautiful day, game time temperature about 86 degrees. Almost total sun, a little bit milky skies now. Spectacular day here for mid-April. Pete Royce with you. Our producer and our director today is Chris Leverone. Camera operator down at first base, Meredith Robertson. Game moving along to the top of the 4th inning. Franklin has seen base runners for Sharon, but so far the Eagles after 3 have been kept off the board. We start the 4th inning now, and Danica McNamara, the cleanup hitter, steps in from the left side. She struck out in the first inning, and she takes a ball. 1-0, home plate umpire Paul Lacasse. On the bases, Ray Kinsella. 1-0 to Danica McNamara, a freshman. Pitch. Ball 2. Sacramone with good speed in the circle. 6 strikeouts over 3 innings. Pitch home. That's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to McNamara. On deck is Allie Folsham, their left fielder and a good player. Pitch home. Swung on and missed. McNamara from the left side. One ball and 2 strikes. Pitch home. Line to left. Foul against the screen. Out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Danica McNamara, the freshman. For Sharon, they have 4 seniors, 5 juniors, 4 sophomores, and 4 freshmen. Pretty even across the school years. Swung on and missed. Second time McNamara goes down, the 7th strikeout of the game for Ron Cohn. Seven strikeouts. And Allie Folsham will step in. She singled. Made it as far as second base. Back in the second inning, was stranded there. Top of the 4th, 1 out. Ground ball up the middle, a second straight hit for Folsham. She's 2 for 2. And this will bring up Samantha Dunham, who struck out. One now of 7 Ks posted by freshman pitcher Sophia Sacramone. Dunham, the senior catcher, 1 on, 1 out. Sacramone delivers. And that is going to be right at us. And Meredith Robertson on 1 bounce makes the play. 1 bounce off the cement walkway, and Meredith showing her stuff. Getting ready to run a mini marathon. She did the other thing here, caught the foul ball on a hop. Here's the pitch back, swung on and missed by Dunham. I'm glad Meredith went for it because I was ducking. 0-2 on Samantha Dunham. The 0-2. That's strike 3 call. The 8th strikeout in the game. 2 in every inning for Sacramone. This will bring up the pitcher, Manasa Josiula. She grounded out to second to Ava Florist back in the second inning. 2 outs now. Pitch is high. So their pitcher bats in the 7th slot. For Sharon, their coach again, Heather Poliferno, in her 8th year. Pitch home, swung on and missed. A late swing there by Josiula. Folsham still on first base. She's got 2 singles, 2 solid hits right up the middle. One. Called it low, I guess. 2 balls and 1 strike to Josiula. The deep breath and the wind by Sacramone. The bunt picked up by the pitcher. She fires to first in time for the out. 1-3 on the play. Good fielding there by Sacramone. Helps her own cause. No runs and no hits. 1 hit, rather, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Franklin 4, Sharon nothing. Nice fielding play by the pitcher. Helps her own cause. And we move to the bottom of the 4th. The last inning, the 3rd, was the biggest inning. As for the Panthers, they sent up 6 players in that inning. Previously, they had 5 bat in the first, and they had 6 also in the second. So the last 2 innings, they've had 6 batters bat each of those innings. And now we go to the bottom of the order. Sophia Arena, Avery Chalk, and Sophia Sacramone, the pitcher, with 8 strikeouts in 4 innings. How about that? Will she have a double-digit strikeout game? We shall see. Franklin with 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third. Now they bat for the 4th time. So Arena reached on a fielder's choice and was stranded at second base after Franklin got 1 home in the second. And then we go to the top of the order. It'll be the 3rd time around the order coming up for the Panthers once we get to the top of the order. Warm-up pitches continue for a new pitcher out there for Sharon. And so we'll check who that is, replacing Jasiula. And the new pitcher for the Eagles is going to be Allie Folsham. So she goes from her position at left field to the circle. And she's going to pitch now. So Folsham pitching here. So we have a new left fielder. I don't know if the pitcher is out there. No, it's not the pitcher out there. So we have some changes here. I think the pitcher has moved to center field, if I'm not mistaken. Well, here's Arena batting against Folsham. Folsham, in fact, listed on the roster as an infielder and pitcher, so she's in the circle now here in the 4th. Pitch is tapped foul by Sophia Arena. So Folsham pitches here in the 4th. Arena at the plate. Runs up and bunts it. It's foul. 0-2 on Arena. She reached on a fielder's choice. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Game moving along. Not yet an hour old. Getting close though. Arena then to the top of the order. Nope, no balls and 2 strikes on Sophia Arena against the new pitcher, Allie Folsham. Foul back. Count hangs at 0-2 on Arena, the right fielder, and the sophomore. Last of the 4th inning. The wind, the pitch home, swung on and missed as Arena goes chasing. 1 up and 1 down here in the home 5th. This brings up Avery Chalk. She's doubled and scored and then struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Chalk stands in, the center fielder for Coach Brianna Schaefer in her first year. The pitch goes to the backstop, 1-0. Their catcher, Samantha Dunham, has had a workout back there, oftentimes chasing balls to the screen. 1 ball, no strikes to Chalk. Chalk takes ball 2 to the screen again. 2-0 on Chalk. Up next will be Sophia Sacramone, the pitcher. Timeout called. Looks like a baseball had come onto the softball field. The Franklin baseball team playing Sharon in the adjacent field. Pitch home. Ball 3 on Chalk. Franklin has scored in every inning. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. 1 out here in the 4th, nobody on. The pitch home is ball 4. And a walk delivered to Avery Chalk. She's been on 2 out of her 3 times. And the pitcher, Sacramone, is up there now. She's tapped out to the pitcher and flew out to center field on a pretty good hit in the 2nd inning. 0 for 2. There goes the runner off first. The throw down is not in time. It gets away. Now the runner, Chalk, is heading for third. She's going to make it. A stolen base and an error for Chalk. And the Panthers have a runner on third with one out. The pitch was a ball to Sacramone. 1-0 on the freshman pitcher. Will Coach Schaefer have a play on here? No, it's a ground ball. Back to the pitcher. Nice field there, and the runner is held. 1-3 on the assist and put out. 2 outs. Still at third is Avery Chalk with Buzang coming up. Buzang has popped out to short and reached on an error by the second baseman. 2 outs here in the fourth inning. Runner on third against the relief pitcher, Allie Folsham. Buzang takes a ball. Chalk was dancing around a little bit after the pitch. The catcher Dunham faked the throw but held on. 1 ball and no strikes on Buzang, the third hitter in the lineup for Coach Schaefer. Pitch home, ground ball up the middle. It's through to shortstop and into left field for a run. I believe that's going to be called a single. And scoring is Chalk for the second time today. And the Panthers keep it going with at least 1 run per inning. They lead 5-0, and the cleanup hitter steps in, Carly Johnson-Pellegri. She singled and reached on an error and scored. Singled in the first, reached on an error in the third and scored. 5-0 Panthers. Pitch home, and there goes the runner. And going down is Buzang, and she's going to get there on the wild pitch. So she's in scoring position. She scored once so far today. 4 different runners have scored the 5 runs. Chalk has scored 2 of the 5. 1 ball and no strikes on Johnson-Pellegri. The pitch. Johnson-Pellegri takes the strike, and on the drop ball, the runner goes to third on the pass ball. So she's at third now with 2 outs. 1-1 on Johnson-Pellegri. Single and reached on an error. Has scored 1 time. Buzang off third. The pitch home. A wild pitch. Here comes Buzang. No throw. Well, the throw is late. And another run is pushed across on a wild pitch again. So it's 6-0 Franklin. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Johnson-Pellegri, the cleanup hitter for Franklin. The 2-1 swung on and missed by Johnson-Pellegri. On deck is Katie Lieberman. The wind by Folsham. The pitch is whacked to third base. Dropped, but then picked up. The throw was off bounce, on a bounce off the first baseman, and an error on the throw. E5. And Johnson-Pellegri reaches first. So Katie Lieberman will step up for the 3rd time today. She struck out and then went out first baseman unassisted. 2 outs, 1 on. In the bottom of the 4th, 6-0 Panthers on top. Katie Lieberman, the 3rd baseman, the senior, waiting her turn, getting ready outside the box. Now she steps in. The pitch. It's a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Allen waits on deck, the catcher. Allen only a sophomore. Lieberman takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnson-Pellegri off first base. 2 outs now. 2 in here in the 4th. 6-0 Panthers. Game 1 hour in. The pitch, swung on and missed. It's a pass ball and going, no, not going down to second. It's Johnson Pellegrini. She stayed at first. Not sure she saw that pass ball. It was a swing and a miss on Lieberman. Folsham in her first inning of relief. Winds and throws. It's high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lieberman. Lieberman, the 5th hitter, the senior, plays third base. And the wind and the pitch home is whacked down the right field line. That's a fair ball going all the way down to the line. Johnson Pellegrini around second. The ball is dug out. Pellegrini being sent in, and it's a triple, an RBI triple for Katie Lieberman. And Franklin leads it 7-0. Beautiful hit down the right field line by Lieberman. And Franklin leads it 7-0. And this will set up Marley Allen. She singled and grounded out to second. And it's a wild pitch. Here comes Lieberman. She slides in safely. It's another run for the Panthers. Again, the wild pitches are killing the Eagles. And it's now 8-0. Franklin. Marley Allen with the ball count, 1-0 on the catcher, the sophomore. The freshman second baseman on deck, Florist. 4 runs in here in the 4th inning. Allen takes a strike. She backed away, but it was in there. Home plate umpire Paul Lacasse calling it a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Marley Allen, the sophomore. On deck is Florist. The pitch swung on and missed. Ahead of the pitch that time was Allen. 1-2 on the catcher. 8-0. Franklin with the lead here in the 4th inning. Franklin with good pitching and good offense here today. Pitch is swung on and missed, and Allen goes down to end the 4th inning. 7 batters that time to the plate, and 4 score. After 4 complete, it's Franklin 8, Sharon no score. 2 hits for the Panthers that inning. Panthers now with 4, 5, 7 hits with their 8 runs. We move to the top of the 5th inning now. The other side of this game has been the pitching of Sacramone. And let's see, and she's going to be relieved now. So she goes 4, and she's going to be relieved by a new pitcher. We'll tell you who she is in just a moment. And that is the senior, Kiara Kotwicki. Kotwicki will pitch here now into the 5th inning. So Kotwicki pitching in the 5th. What a game Sacramone turned in. 4 innings, shutout ball, and 8 strikeouts. She did her job. Sacramone kept the Eagles off the plate, off the board, and retired 8 by strikeouts in her 4 innings of pitching. So now it'll be Kotwicki's turn. Kotwicki is senior, and she'll be facing 8, 9, and 1 in the top of the 5th inning. Once again, the Franklin subs go down the right field line and play catch to stay loose. Top of the 5th. Kessler, Fishman, and then to the top of the order, and Who. So Kotwicki taking her warm-up tosses to Marley Allen. And we're ready to go here. See if we have another change for the Panthers. No, it looks like that's the only change. So it will be Sharon batting here in the visiting fifth. Franklin 2-2 on the season. Sharon 0-4. Kiera Kotwicki, the pitcher now. So Kessler will stand in, the center fielder, and she takes a strike. Kessler walked in the second inning. Kotwicki with 2 strikeouts in each of the 4 innings she pitched. Amazing performance. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kessler. Kotwicki throws, change up. It's in the hole for a nice solid hit by Kessler. Her first hit, 4th hit in the game for the Eagles. And we go to Sarah Fishman at the bottom of the order, the 9th hitter, plays second base with Kessler on at first with nobody out. Kotwicki with the pitch home. A slap attempt by Fishman. Try to slap it down to third. She misses though. 0-1 on Fishman, the second baseman. She's a junior. 8-0 Franklin with the lead. Fishman had stepped out and the pitch was called a ball. 1-1. Fishman, smallish in stature at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kotwicki, and that's a hit to the pitcher, and it's a recorded out 1-3, and on the play, Kessler advances to second base. So 1 out as Kotwicki took the sure route at first base. And we go to the top of the order now in Maddie Hu. Hu, grounder to third and a grounder to second. Hu is the starting shortstop and a senior for the Eagles. Little housekeeping at home plate by Paul Lacasse, the home plate umpire. Hu stands in. The pitch, swung on and missed. 1 on and 1 out in the top of the 5th. Franklin, 8. Sharon, nothing. Kotwicki in her first inning of relief. The pitch, the bunt, it's foul, and it's going to be no balls and 2 strikes on Hu. The wind still blowing out, straight out to center field. No balls and 2 strikes on Maddie Hu. Pitch is wide, 1-2. Kessler with a fake advance and on that wide pitch, but she stays at second with 1 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Just tapped foul. Just getting a piece of it was Hu. On deck is the third baseman, Haley Fernando. She struck out twice, Fernando has. So has McNamara. So has Dunham. 6 of the 8 Ks recorded by starting pitcher Sophia Sacramone. Pitch home. Ground ball to short. Picked up there by Carla Pellegri. Johnson Pellegri in time on the out for the second out of the inning. And on the play, Kessler advances to third. Nice play that time by Carly Johnson Pellegri. And here's Haley Fernando. Fernando, their starting third baseman. Pitch, ground ball, foul down the left field, third base line. Making a dive attempt for it was third baseman. Or rather, the shortstop went to try to chase it down. No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. The pitch. Inside, 1-1 on Haley Fernando. As we said, a strikeout in the first and a strikeout in the third. Up for the 3rd time here in the 5th. Kotwicki. Some housekeeping. Another baseball comes on the field from the baseball game going on next door. Panthers playing Sharon in baseball as well. Franklin baseball team off to a good start this year. Undefeated on the early season. The pitch home. Ground ball back to the circle. They're going to go home with it. And I'm not sure what that play was for. I don't think the pitcher realized there was 2 outs. But it's a fielder's choice. And on the play, it's going to be an out at 1-2 for the third out. So nothing across in the fifth. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Franklin 8, Sharon no score. An unorthodox play there with 2 outs. You usually go to first, but the tag had to be applied by Allen as it was a non-force out at home, and Marley Allen made the tag. And that was the end of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the fifth. 8-0. Franklin on top. Franklin looking for its third win of the young season in 5 attempts. So we move to the home fifth, and it'll be for Franklin. 7, 8, and 9 in the order. Franklin has not had a scoreless inning today. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 4 in the fourth. Florist, Hickey, and Arena, your scheduled 3 here in the bottom of the fifth. Against relief pitcher Allie Folsham. Beautiful day, said high 80s, unusual for this mid-April day. So glad you're with us, fans, here on Franklin TV and on YouTube. We're streaming live here. So we wait for the last warm-up toss or two by Folsham. She gets her last toss. Throw down a second is a good one. And Florist will be stepping in for the third time. She walked and doubled. She had a loud double in the third inning, was stranded at third base. As the backup players for Sharon were on the field warming up, so they'll trot off. And so it looks like we have a pinch hitter for Franklin. Katie Dowley is going to pinch hit for Ava Florist. Katie Dowley will pinch hit here. Dowley is a junior, so she bats here in the fifth inning. Two balls and no strikes on Katie Dowley, D-O-W-L-E-Y, here in the fifth inning. The 2-0 home by Folsham. Dowley takes ball 3 to the backstop. 3-0. On deck is Caitlin Hickey. So Florist was 1 for 1 with a walk and a loud double. But this is Dowley at the plate. 3-0, it hits her right in the helmet. She's okay. Katie Dowley took it. Hit by pitch. Just glanced off her helmet. Big face mask there too, no problem. And Hickey stands in. Hickey was hit by a pitch and then grounded out to second base. Hickey swings, and there goes Dowley, and she's going to take second without a throw. Stolen base for Dowley, the pinch hitter. And Hickey swung through it. 0-1 on the left fielder for Franklin. Pitch home. Ground ball foul. No balls and 2 strikes. On deck, Sophia Arena, the right fielder, in the 9th slot for the Panthers. 8-0, Franklin on top here in the bottom of the fifth. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Count hangs at no balls and 2 strikes. Caitlin Hickey, senior. One of 9 seniors on this Franklin team. The 0-2. It's a pop-up heading down to the short left. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Only able to advance to third is Dowley on the single by Hickey. So she's 1 for 2. Hit by a pitch, a ground out, now a single. First and third. nobody out. Now, if both of these runners score, the game should be called. That would be 10 runs here in the 5th inning. That would end the game if both can come around to score. We have a runner going down, and taking second base is Hickey, and another pinch hitter here for Franklin, batting for Arena, is going to be Lily Santiago. So Santiago, a line drive to the circle, and a nice play by Folsham. Santiago lines out back to the circle. If that had gone through, it might have ended the game because it's an 8-run lead. Both runners may have scored. And here's Chalk with a chance now to end it with 2 runners on. And only 1 out. Chalk, a double, a strikeout, and a walk, takes ball 1. If both runners score, that should be the game. A 10-0 lead after 5. Nope, that's a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Chalk. Folsham delivers. Chalk gets a line drive. That's a fair ball. It's through the left field, and that's going to end the game. A single and 2 RBIs for Chalk, and that should do it. She gets up on third. They're going to let the game continue. I thought that should do it, but 2 more come in. It's 10-0. A single and an error. And here is Kotwicki. She bats left. She replaced Sacramone. And a wild pitch, and here comes Chalk. She goes back, and ball is fumbled, but Chalk stays at third base. 10-0. I thought that would be it with 10 runs in the 5th inning, but they play on here. So Kotwicki has it, 1 ball and no strikes, 1 out, runner on third. What a nice hit by Chalk. Pitch is high, 2 RBIs there for Chalk. So she's got 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Kotwicki stands in from the left side, batting in the 2 slot. The pitch. Kotwicki takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch. Kotwicki fouls it a little bit late on the swing. Foul ball down the left field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is the first baseman, Sarah Buzang. Kotwicki has pitched 1 inning in relief of a great starting performance by Sophia Sacramone. Folsham's pitch. Ground ball to third. Picked up there. The throw to first is by the first baseman. Safe. Another run comes in. An error on the third baseman. And going all the way to third is Kotwicki on an E5. It's 11-0. And Kotwicki ends up at third base. The throw would have had her, but it pulled the first baseman off the bag and went in the dirt and got by her. And so it's 11-0. 3 runs in here. Only 1 out. And Buzang is the batter. She's popped out to short, reached on an error, and singled. Buzang in the 3-hole for Coach Brianna Schaefer. Pitches a strike. A ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 3 in, 1 out. 11-0. Franklin on top. Folsham delivers. Drive to the short, picked up there. They're going to go home with it, and it's a bad throw. And on the fielder's choice and in the error, another run comes in. They chose to go home with it as Maddie Hu threw home, but her throw was in the dirt, and it's an error, and it makes it 12-0, and they're going to call it. So the mercy rule ends it right there as Franklin is going to win it 12-0, as apparently 12 runs was the special number to hit, and Franklin does it with 4 runs in the 5th, 4 in the 4th, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 2nd, and 1 in the 1st to work backwards. Franklin goes to 3-2 on the season as the Sharon Eagles drop to 0-5. But the real star of the game was freshman pitcher Sophia Sacramone. 4 innings, 8 strikeouts, and that paved the way for Franklin's victory. So they win it with good hitting, good pitching, and they go to 3-2 on the season. That's going to do it for our telecast here today. I'd like to thank our producer and our director, our technologist, Chris Leverone. Our camera operator down at first base is Meredith Robertson. This is Pete Royce. The final score for the final time today, Franklin 12 and Sharon no score. Till next time, so long, neighbors.